Hello and welcome to Revival Reminder. Number 7, revival is life, not programming. In our very first Revival Reminder, I said this: "In him was life, and the life was the light of men." The word translated life there is Zoe, and it refers to spiritual life. A revival comes from God because only God has the spiritual life we need to be refreshed and renewed. All the best programs in the world can't give you life. Only the Holy Spirit of God can give us the spiritual life we need to be truly revived. So ultimately, revival comes from God. We are totally dependent upon Him to give us the life we need to follow Jesus, overcome the world and sin, and to be an effective witness for Jesus as well. Today, I want to return to this point because it's vital to understand clearly and correctly what it means. Revival is God giving us His Zoe life through the filling of the Holy Spirit. It's not just clever programming or the latest psychological insights or motivational methodology. True, God-sent revival that is gospel-centered goes far beyond those things and always has elements that those involved in can't quite understand, much less explain or replicate. I remember years ago when a church here in the United States was having a prolonged and quite dramatic revival. At least they called it a revival, and so did the media, of course. As this went on, the leaders began teaching how churches around the country could have the very same experience. All they had to do was follow the same steps that they had used, and revival was guaranteed. Well, we had a church in the town I lived in then, and they sent their pastor there. And when he came back, he did exactly what they told him to do. I probably don't have to tell you that it flopped. That doesn't mean that it didn't do anything. I know for a fact that it burned out many of the leaders of that church and probably did some good too, but it was not a God-sent revival. And it wasn't long before they left that all behind and didn't really talk about it anymore. All this is not to say that programming and organization isn't important. Every Day in the Spirit is very well organized, and I sure didn't accidentally write a 576-page book either. No way. No, the way that this spiritual growth campaign is set up is very intentional. From its order, Sunday sermons, daily devotionals, small group lessons, our 40-day of prayer campaign, to when we're doing it, etc. All this is designed to have the maximum impact on people's lives. And most of this I learned from a megachurch who has successfully used this format for years now to revive their church. So not only is there nothing wrong with organization or programming, but there is actually everything right and necessary about them. Since God is not the author of confusion, He desires and demands that we do these things in an orderly and reasonable manner. But even the best planning, preparation, and programs cannot bring real revival. That's not a knock on plans and programs. It's simply a recognition that revival is all about real spiritual life that comes from God and God alone. Each has its place. God uses our plans and programs when it pleases Him to do so, but He is never limited by them. So let us be alert for any open doors the Spirit might show us and be prepared to move out of our comfort zone and into the flow of the Spirit so that He can revive us. Thanks for watching. More next week.